Yes, a new club record, 8 consecutive away league wins for Manchester United. It's a very different expression on the face of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to that at half-time, and indeed for Ralph Hasenhüttl after that 2-0 half-time lead, dramatically wiped out by Manchester United. Did they deserve that?
Well, when you've got a player like Cavani on your bench, a goal scorer like that, then you've always got a chance. Not often we think Manchester United making big comebacks nowadays. Back in the day, yes, but you don't see it nowadays. But that second half performance was a lot more like it, and they deserve something out of the game for sure.
Yeah, the much better second half. They played with a little bit more flair, put bodies in the box. But as Michael says, you've got Cavani. We spoke about his movement, and my word, what examples he showed us today. And he's got to be put in the team from the start for me.
Yeah.
Well, the manager himself, back in his heyday, would have been proud of those finishes. He's left to reflect on what might have been. So 1 down, and still 2 very big ones to come on this Sunday of Premier League football. Manchester United win it by 3 goals to 2. Jose Mourinho's return to Stamford Bridge with Spurs is coming next in the London derby, and Arsenal Wolves still to come your way today. And 2 games to complete the weekend, of course, on Monday, including at West Ham at home to Aston Villa. Manchester United jumping up to 7th onto 16 points, level with Everton, and now just a point behind the team they've just beaten, Southampton, who, remember, at half-time were in 3rd spot. A reminder as well, up and coming at Stamford Bridge, the winners, or indeed if Spurs avoid defeat, will be the new leaders of the Premier League. Well, David De Gea had a troublesome first half. On came Dean Henderson, but more importantly, on came Edinson Cavani with his first 2 goals in the English Premier League. What a turnaround, what a result. For the 4th time away from home this season, Manchester United have come from behind to win a Premier League game. And not surprisingly, once again, this fella right at the heart of it. Let's get his post-match reaction.
Well, Bruno, considering you were 2-0 down within 22 minutes, how big does that win feel?
Oh, the feeling is the same, when you win, it's always enjoying. But of course, I think the most important today was we see the sacrifice we did for everyone, for the team. We run for the mate on your side, and so these 3 points are possible because we believe until the end.
One of the changes that made a huge impact was Edinson Cavani, when eventually he managed to get his boots on and get on the pitch. You two traded goal and assist as well, and then obviously he got the winner. How impressed have you been with him since he came in?
Oh, everyone knows. Eddie, as I said before, some weeks ago or some months ago, I don't know, he will be important for us. Today he was. He's an amazing striker. He have the goal on him. He have the feeling. The goal on the equalizer. This is the feeling of the striker. You have to smell this kind of situations, and he's one of that strikers who can do. And we are really happy to have him in the team.
We've all been very impressed with his fitness levels. What's he like around training?
No, he's training hard all the time. After the game on Champions League, day after the game, everyone was thinking like maybe make some recovery or something. He just come in, we do the recovery, a little bit of work, and he stays there running a little bit more. I think the point is all team is fit. Of course we have some injuries, important injuries, people who can help and will help in the future. But in this moment we have these players who are doing really well, and so we need to keep going on this way.
We'll come to his goal in a moment, which of course was set up by Edinson Cavani. We'll start with a winner in the 92nd minute. Michael, we've seen you score these goals many times over the years. How difficult a header is it? How much of instinct is there?
Well, the thing is, it's the best run to make. I've often said millions of times on this show, a yard at the front. Well, we'll just pick up that point to start with. Harry Maguire blocking his man to give that extra bit of room to get the cross in. You make it more difficult for yourself. Not sure whether it clips the shoulder or the head there, but getting across the near post is the ultimate run as a centre forward. 1 yard at the front post is better than 5 at the back post, but it makes the finish really, really difficult. Now, it can only be a flick header, either flicking it to the far post or into the near post. I mean, that guy, we mentioned it before. I said before the game, his movement is the best in the world, in my opinion, as a centre forward. I think he's absolutely brilliant. As we see this again, Glenn. I mean, do you think that's intentional? Of course, the block is intentional.
Yeah, I think it might be good. Why would you put Fernandes out there? Is it Fernandes or Rashford? Rashford's out there on the left-hand side, and he just changes the angle. You're expecting to go at the back post where you'd have thought Harry Maguire would have been, but he's there blocking players off. And that is a wonderful, wonderful finish because of the movement, of course. But that's what we spoke about. His movement is the best for any kid. Those players at United are all going to learn from him. We said it before, but there's the proof in the pudding. The movement that he showed today is immense.
How has he not played more since he's been at Manchester United? He's the only one with a real killer
I think he's been building his fitness up as well, in fairness.
He has, but...
Because he missed a lot. He
bring
hadn't
him
played
in-
since March. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd be bringing it. Okay, don't start him all the time, but bring him on every single game. I mean, I think he's lethal in front of a goal.
He's got to start him now. He's got to start him.
He'd only
now.
played 83 minutes in the Premier League before today.
Yeah, I think he's got to start him now without any shadow of a doubt. If he's knocking on the door, if he's not,
Yeah.
if he's not.
And that was his second header, of course, because he got him level as well.
Well, again, it's him on the move again. Look, there's the ball comes out there. Fernandes doesn't hit it great, but he is the only one moving. This is where his instincts just come in. There's a shot coming in. Everyone else is standing still. Van der Beek's trying to get back up, but he's on the move. He's the only one. He's anticipating where that ball might end up, and it's, again, great finish.
And that's a centre forward. You can't teach that. That is pure instinct. We move on to this. Vestergaard obviously sees his goalkeeper out of position, so you can't really blame him. He fills in while the goalkeeper's lying on the floor. And unfortunately for him, even though he does the right thing, it ends up being the wrong thing because he's playing everybody onside, as we can quite clearly see here. But it's brilliant movement again from Cavani. Everyone else watching, wondering, is Fernandes going to shoot? Is he going to hit it on target? Is he going to... No. Instinct tells you, get in and around that 6-yard box. And that's why he scores so many goals and why all the others don't.
And he can assist goals as well, because that was important to get Manchester United off and running.
Yeah,
with the first goal back.
It's a great cross, because at the end of the day, sometimes when you've got a cross to put in, you're under pressure. It's easier. But Cavani there, he holds his run, he's onside. But when you've got time to look up and purvey the ball, that is harder. It's got to be spot on. And he's got that ability. He's come out, he finds himself out here on the right wing. There's a little adjustment that doesn't happen defensively. If they get a block then on Fernandes. They can get a block. They can't now. What a first touch. And a beautiful finish. But Cavani's little clip, he has a look, just curls it, bends it in there. And Fernandes' touch deals with the spin on the ball, and it's set perfectly to just pass into the corner.
I mean, without that first touch, it's nothing. I mean, and that's where he makes it look so simple. Any kid out there, go and do that. Go and have a ball being bounced into you. Normally, you'll touch it and it'll come up round your neck, and how am I going to take you 2 or 3 touches? He just kills it in one, and that's why he is such a great player, Fernandes. That first touch is majestic.
So we began the day by talking about the inconsistencies and not knowing what you're going to get from Manchester United. You've seen 2 completely different 45 minutes with a couple of substitutions there. What have you learned today? Where's the pathway forward now on the back of that?
Well, I think we've learned that Manchester United have still got it. They've still got it within them. We look at that team, and it's so talented. There's so many great players in that team. So they've got it in them. They've proved that's almost Manchester United of old, coming back from 2-0 down and scoring in the last minute, injury time, Fergie time, and all these cliches and sayings that we used to have. So they've proven again that it's in them. They've got it in them. We've seen Jekyll and Hyde so many times with this team, and now we've seen it in the space of 90 minutes. Poor first half, and then, if the game had continued, I would have thought it'd be 4-2, 5-2. They were really, really on a roll. And we've also learned that when you're a centre forward and when you've got the instinct and the goal scoring capability of Cavani, then you've got to get him on the pitch as much as you can.
Yeah, Sunday for Edinson Cavani, involved as a Premier League substitute in 3 goals. The last Manchester United player in the Premier League to do that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Here's the United manager.
Well, Ollie, what's the feeling after a game like that, where the changes that you make implement such a good win?
Of course, it's great to get 3 points in the way we did it, as in last minute. It's a comeback. It's a tradition of this club. It's something that this team is getting better and better at as well.
And you signed someone like Edinson Cavani. Is that what you expect to see?
Yeah, he's a centre forward who thrives on crosses and delivery in the box, and he's been in there for so many years, so he knows where the ball can land. So he's made a difference tonight, or this morning.
How much will you look back at the earlier part of this game and the goals that were conceded in the manner that they were, and really scrutinise those moments?
I won't, because first of all, I thought we were excellent all day long. I thought we played some fantastic football, created chances, must have had 5 or 6 clear-cut opportunities. And they have Ward-Prowse. You can't stop him. It's just one of them. You hope that you don't give set plays away, because he's got that quality, and it's one of them you can't blame anyone.
What's the latest on David De Gea? How's his knee?
Let's have a little check on him. Hopefully it'll be okay for Wednesday, but I'm not sure. So Dean played well though.
I was going to ask that as well. When Dean came in from the stands where we were sitting, all we could hear was how vocal he was and how much he wanted to get involved in that game. In the small amount of time that you saw him in the Premier League, how did you feel about him?
No, he's a keeper who's been used to being vocal. He wants to organise his team. He had a couple of tidy saves. He didn't have big saves to make, but he was safe with his hands. And the first 10 minutes, second half, I thought we were really all over the place. And after that, we played well again.
Within the moments where you could have had goals in the first half, especially the chances that you missed, how do you look back on those moments?
Nah, it's one of those that when you win, they don't really matter. But it's one of them. I was thinking at the end, 2 each. So proud the way they played, even if you lose that game, because second half, the last half an hour, fantastic. All the chances we create. Sometimes the keeper gets the better of you.
I've never seen someone take so long to put his boots on. Edinson Cavani obviously made up for it. What did you make of that?
He probably wasn't able to warm up on the pitch, and then suddenly when he realised that he needed bigger studs, and I'm happy he did.
I suppose you can forgive after that performance.
I don't know. I think you might have to learn on that one. As a sub, you've always got to be ready. I know more than anyone about that.
We talked about the record pre-match as well. Not that records necessarily mean the world, but It's 8 wins on the road now, a record for the club.
Yeah, no, it hasn't crossed my mind at all. When you said it now, yeah, it's one of those things that you look back on later on, but this team is just getting better and better and improving, and that's what I want to see.
And to fight back from 2 goals down especially, and to win in a game against a very, very good Southampton side, is that the sort of thing that you're going to build more on now?
Yeah, and you see, we are fit. I think towards the end you can see that we could still keep going, and that's important in a season. We've lost out on pre-season this season, so we've lost out on a few points earlier on because we haven't been fit, but now we're looking stronger.
Well done, Ollie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Cavani certainly had the right boots and studs in the end, but at the other end, Dean Henderson, as he said, came on for his first Premier League action. David De Gea started every Premier League game under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Might that now potentially change in the future?
He's got an opportunity. I think if Ollie wants to put him in and keep him in, the door's slightly ajar. It depends on what. I mean, you can't judge on today. He came on when United were starting to control the game, and they threw caution to the wind. They were 2-0 down. He didn't have to make any big saves, as Ollie's just said. But if he's always felt that I needed maybe to give him a chance, this is his moment. It depends on the injury as well. De Gea might be out for a couple of games. So, but Henderson has proved at Premier level he is good enough.
Yeah, and I think only you can answer in a way, Glenn. But if you're thinking about changing the goalkeeper, this is it. Yeah. This is the time. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants confrontation. I don't think he wants to drop him. But in this situation, all of a sudden it's, hey, you went off injured, he's not done nothing wrong. It is the perfect opportunity. So if he's had any of those thoughts over the last few months, when there has been mistakes been made, now's your time.
West Ham away, and then Manchester City at home in the derby, up and coming in the Premier League for Manchester United, who have won. On to